Hey, what's up everyone? It's me again. This is Line 6 Pod Go Advanced Tips number 6. This time I'm talking about clean or linear loudness control. So what does this mean exactly? What is clean loudness control? Well, let me explain that first and I'm gonna get to the methods later. So what I mean by that? That means if I adjust something inside this amp block, for example, I'm gonna just tell you what I'm gonna adjust the channel volume right here. So this is a clean type of control. That means that it does not drive the preamp section of this amp in any way. It does not change the tone in any way. I'm talking about the amp tone, of course. It's just volume. So this control just makes the preset, or better to say the amp block, louder or more quiet. It is clean and it will remain clean unless you have something like this right here. I have the delay, which is called the transistor tape, and that is emulating an analog type of delay. An analog type of equipment was prone to saturation, to pleasant type of clipping. Even distortion can be pleasant, and it very much is. So this type of delay, if you scroll right to the page 2, has a headroom control. And what does this tell you? So if we go back to the Mandarin Rocker amp, go to the channel volume. So if I increase this channel volume control right here, what does that mean? Well, I'm pushing more volume into the delay block. And since that delay block has a, where is that page, right? Since that delay block has a headroom control, that means that it can become saturated. And that is especially with this transistor transistor tape, which is the Echoplex EP3. That is a very, very pleasant sound because the delay repeats get just a tiny bit grainy and they are not perfectly clean. So if you are dealing with a scenario like this and you don't want your delay repeats to become saturated, then increase the headroom control, increase it, and then this delay transistor block will be less prone to go into saturation and distortion. Again, this is mostly pleasant, but if you really dial down this headroom control drastically, the transistor tape might even sound a bit harsh with the delay repeats. I'm sorry, they may start sounding harsh. I'm not saying they will, but they may. Anyway, going back to the amp block. So as I said, this control right here on page number 2 is I have the channel volume, and as I said, this is completely linear. This does not push your amp in any way. So there are plenty of other controls inside the Pod Go that behave in the exact same way, meaning they are clean and linear type of loudness control. So if you go right and go to the cabinet block and go to page 2, you will see the level control right here. The same thing applies. This is clean. This does not, of course, push the amp harder because it's after the amp, so that wouldn't make too much sense. But still, the same thing applies if you have an analog model type of delay or modulation block after your amp and cabinet block. Moving on, we have the 10 band, we have the parametric EQ, sorry. And if we scroll to another page, you will see that this also has a level control. Again, all completely linear. Nothing happens to your tone except it becomes, if you scroll this down, quiet, and up it becomes more loud. And if we go to the next block, we have the temp and graphic with the level control, and I believe that you get the point now. Now the final, this little white circle right here, come on, zoom. This is probably the best place to try to adjust your loudness, and this is especially powerful when you're using snapshots, and I did this so many times. So this is very easily, sorry, this is very easily assignable to snapshot. So you can, again, with this final block, which is coming after everything in your chain, you can adjust the level right here. So you have the amp block, you have the channel volume, you have the level inside the cabinet block, you have the level inside all the EQ blocks, and you have the output, the main outs, you have the level there, and this is all, I repeat, clean linear type of loudness control. And I strongly suggest that you at least try this main out control. Using the channel volume from the amp is of course the first thing that you will gonna do when you're creating a preset, I guess. So that's the first place where you're gonna determine the loudness. But as you add other blocks, reverbs, modulations, delays, things can get a bit more complicated. So try to control your gain stages across a preset, across blocks. And again, this main output control is extremely helpful. And that's it. Peace.